Greetings. In this video, I want to speak to those people who are learning how to market their business online, and I want to tackle a topic that I have seen come up numerous times in my particular niche, my industry, and it's called overwhelm, the term overwhelm. So just to make that a little more clear, once again, it is for those people who are learning or attempting to learn how to market their business online, and then they come into this emotional state of feeling completely overwhelmed. So I'm going to address that head on, some thoughts that I have about that, and how you can overcome overwhelm. All right? So first off, just to introduce myself, my name is Ann Sieg. I'm the author of some of the most widely read books in the world on how to attract prospects and customers to you. All right, so the topic of overwhelm, it's actually been on my mind at a little more heightened level the last couple of weeks or so. I work with, here within my own list of followers, I've got about 350,000 people worldwide. So I get emails that come in through our support desk, and then more so, it's as I work with my membership. I have a coaching training mentorship platform. It's called the Daily Marketing Coach. And I work with my people on a daily basis. Primarily, we have a private Facebook group page. So I'm able to observe things. I'm able to see trends and whatnot in two different ways. I see it from kind of a hyper view, if you will, through my large list, and then also much more closely in my membership. So I'm going to focus in on the membership. And so overwhelm will come up occasionally, and then I'll see it as I'm on other people's lists and they're tackling overwhelm too, and it shows up in their sales copy, and pretty much the tone is such in the marketing that, God forbid, really truly God forbid that anyone should ever end up being in a state of overwhelm. We just really don't want that to happen at all costs. At all costs, we must avoid anyone. We must shelter them from any sense of feeling overwhelmed. So that's kind of the expression in the copy is, they're there, let me allay your concerns, and then you get to offers where, hey, just stay in your hammock. You just stay cool, stay comfortable, make sure you got your iced tea next to you, and you did say you want to build a business, but hey, here's the news, here's the good news, stay in your hammock, we're going to build it for you. Now I would say to that, you probably don't own a real business where you're in control of the assets, which is a whole nother topic and conversation unto itself, but that's something that we see in response to this, I'm overwhelmed. So you see the offers of, we'll take care of you. We're going to generate the leads for you. We're going to close those sales for you. We're going to build your entire business for you. We're going to actually take care of your team. You really don't have to do anything except then as part of that offer, of course, you've got to pay for that, which makes sense. They're going to do all that work for you. You ought to pay for it. So you don't own a business, though, in terms of you have not developed the skill sets to legitimately go and build another business again. You're just paying for someone to somehow create some kind of potential cash flow for you, and that's about it, which has some merit and validity. You're going to use that cash flow and do something with it. But in terms of you building a business, I don't think so. Okay, so now those who are legitimately moving forward, and they're really, I want to learn this, Ann. I read your book. I read Attraction Marketer's Manifesto. I read Renegade Network Marketer, and sign me up. You know what? I don't want to be chasing friends and family anymore. From here on in, I just want them coming to me. I like that, Ann. Just sign me up for that. It's like, well, come on right in. And then that's where they come in and they go, holy cow. Whew. Whoa, Ann. I mean, I'm a new entrepreneur, and I was going to give this a shot for 30 days or so, and if I don't get results in 30 days, check me out. I'm not interested. Not going to stick around. And what they're not understanding is something called expectations, and they're also not having a commitment. So I do think it's accurate, as I had a conversation with my certified trainers here inside Daily Marketing Coach. We have a certification program where they have to have the results, and they've got to have the training background behind them. So we discussed this concept of overwhelm, and one of them said, Ann, honestly, I think it's used as a cop-out. I'm overwhelmed. And then everyone's got to feel, rush in there and feel sorry for them. And did you say you feel overwhelmed? Oh my gosh, I know I'm being a little bit sarcastic here, and I don't mean to be that. This is real. This is a real state, being that overwhelmed, but it's all put into context. What I feel is that the two biggest problems is setting proper expectations, and preceding that is commitment. What most people don't realize is the commitment to learn online marketing is a life skill. It's a life skill. It will serve you for the rest of your life. It's not a, let me waltz in, let me give this a crapshoot, and let's just see if this works for me. So if it really is true, I can attract customers to me, I want that. They don't realize it's much, much bigger than that. We have moved into a completely different era in history where we're competing for jobs and prospects and customers at a global scale. Little interesting statistic, out of all the students who go to law school here in the US, it's about 40,000 of them. Half of them don't get a job as an attorney upon graduation. That's 20,000 of them. It would probably serve them well to learn some marketing skills, but I'm pretty sure that's not a part of their curriculum. They are more indicative of what Michael Gerber talks about in E-Myth Revisited. They learned a skill, which is called being a technician, but they didn't learn all the other aspects of running a business. And they are now a business because they have the skill and they've got to market themselves and try and get a job. So expectation is, this is a life skill. So if you're committed to developing a life skill, wouldn't you do it a little more than a crapshoot of a few days to see if it works for you or not? And then the expectations. It is a big elephant. Learning online marketing is a big elephant. Most of that has to do with people have all these pieces being thrown at them and they don't have a frame or context of where these pieces fit. They pop into a Pinterest webinar, they attend a LinkedIn, they attend one on webinars, they attend one on this, and before you know it, they can't make any sense or order of how any of this fits into building an online marketing business. Here inside Daily Marketing Coach, we have a marketing funnel checklist. And any kind of training that you're going through as it relates to online marketing, we can tell you exactly where it fits in that structure. Because in fact, this can be an extremely linear process. That's how we code it up and set up our entire back office, is it's step-by-step sequential. And yet even there, people can say, I'm in overwhelm, because they're learning about what's called a target audience. They're learning about something called a unique selling proposition. Well, they're learning a new life skill. So here's the comparison I want to make for you, and these are some interesting stats. So most of us got conditioned properly if you went to college. You kind of grew up with that whole thing, expectation. Mom and dad are socking away money for you to go to college, and you're gonna get good grades, and you're gonna go to college, and you're gonna get a job, and you're gonna get a 401k too. It's just gonna be a sweet deal, and this is the path we're gonna send you on, Johnny. So Johnny grows up with all those expectations, and Johnny, either he's getting it paid for by his parents, or he's getting student loans, or he's working too, or whatever the situation is. So he comes up, you would think, pretty well primed and pumped to understand this undertaking of going to 4 years. 4 years. And yet, I was just reading an article by someone where they stated their daughter going to college, the first day there were 400 students in the class. Within 3 weeks, that had dropped from 400 to 80. From 400 students down to 80. Okay, I don't know. Maybe they were overwhelmed and they checked out. And then their grades drop and all this kind of a thing, and many drop out of college, of course. So, why not make that parallel over here, except look at it differently? These kids, they're looking at it as, I'm gonna get a job, most of them. I'll be able to get a higher paying job, this, that, and the other thing. Why not look at it that way with online marketing? That you're going to be able to compete at a global scale for whatever particular technician skill set you have. You're a great pie baker, cupcake baker, you're an attorney, you're a chiropractor. Why not learn these life skills that this is the 21st century skill? In Time magazine, they predicted by 2017, what was it? I believe it was 40% of the population will be independent contractors, and they're all going to have to learn to market themselves. Why not hunker down and actually learn the true skills that are going to help secure your financial future? Because once you learn how to set up a blog, once you learn how to set up a sales funnel, I can tell you can rinse and repeat and do that again, because I've had my members do that. So all to say, back to this concept of overwhelm, rethink your perspective of that word, because it's also sending signals. You're sending signals to yourself. You're sending signals to the people around you. And it's kind of that flight or fight response that I think I'm gonna do flight on this one because you're overwhelmed. Why not tackle it down to, you need to get your commitment down, you need to get your expectations down, and start to set in place a game plan. And the game plan ought to start with this. You start to remove things out of your life that are excess. You do that when you become a parent because you're forced to. All of a sudden you have to be feeding this baby, you have to be changing their diapers. Why not look at your business that way? You have to change the diapers. You have to feed this thing because it's crying. And you'd be giving up TV. You'd be giving up a whole lot of things to take care of this thing, which is supposed to feed your financial future. So that is just my somewhat short take on this whole concept of overwhelm. Really consider your use of that term. Also, I would encourage you, if you are in overwhelm and you've gone through a ton of training programs, etc., really consider the Daily Marketing Coach. We have it set up step-by-step sequential. It's an achievement system. You check off when you've completed something, and it gives you that sense of accomplishment. I am making progress here. A lot of people need that visibly and tangibly. That's how we set up our back office training system. In addition to, you get daily help, constant daily help. So with that, thanks for watching this video. And if you'd like to learn more about Daily Marketing Coach, you can click on the link below. All right, stick with the task. It's an important one. Bye-bye.